Hey Breadwinners, Hummus here, and today I am bringing you guys a video on my settings that I use in Modern Warfare. A few of you have been asking me in the comment section down below what my settings are, what my FOV is, my sensitivity, my multiplier, whatever it may be. These are my settings that I like to run, and also some cool little tips and tricks you can do in the settings to make sure you have a better gaming experience. I will be putting examples like screenshots and gameplay for the more major settings that can be changed, so you guys have an idea of what the difference is between the two. Now I play on PC, but I will put my controller settings in there as well, as I used to play with controller not even more than 3-4 months ago. I hope to make this a quick video for you guys without wasting any more time. Let's get straight into it. This here shows my mouse sensitivity, which I like to run at 5.0 with a DPI of 800. I'm running all these specific mouse sensitivity options at 1.0. My aim down sight ADS mouse sensitivity is at relative, and if you go ahead and click advanced, I actually have a 0.90 low zoom and a 0.95 high zoom with gradual transition timing, and the coefficient is basic at 1.33. I put my slide behavior to tap, my crouch behavior to toggle, my prone behavior to toggle as well, and the rest of it you can see for yourself. Now the reason why I like to put toggle for prone and crouch is, especially toggle, when you click it you go to a drop shot faster than holding a key down. My hold to use is disabled, so I just click to use things. Nothing really specific here except that my equipment behavior is hold, my aim down sight behavior is hold. Now moving on to the general settings where it shows all the field of view. Now I know console doesn't have a field of view slider yet. Now this is the field of view that I like to run. I will show the difference between console and PC field of view right now. The difference is kind of crazy if you ask me. But moving on to the ADS field of view, which is actually a very important one, is I like to run it on affected. I will show you the difference between the two, which is affected and independent. The most important thing about putting your ADS field of view to affected is it gives you a bigger peripheral when you're aiming down sights to see people from the left and right. Now this I believe is a PC exclusive feature. You can't do this on console. Another cool thing about affected is although the targets may appear smaller because you technically are more zoomed back, you do get more visual recoil control, which is actually a pretty good plus if you ask me. You just have to focus a little more on the targets you see. Moving on to the next set of features that I like to change is the minimap shape. I like to run the minimap on square, which all of you should, because if you run it on circle you actually lose a bit of map coverage. Putting it on square gives you, I believe, 20 to 30% extra coverage, and putting the minimap rotation on enabled I found to be more helpful as well. Now here's the difference between square and circle and running it on enabled and disabled. Now, if you are a Warzone guy, I do recommend putting compass cardinal direction text to numbers instead of letters. It'll be easier to call people out if you need to. Now moving on to one of the most important sections is graphics. These are my graphics. I like to run borderless at 1440p. I like to have almost everything at low. I don't use VSync. I have a custom frame rate, and I put my texture resolution, everything to low. This is for the people playing on PC. If you play on console, the graphics down below that I talked about are very important for you as well. Now this is the important stuff: anti-aliasing, depth of field, and motion blur. Now you can see my anti-aliasing is off, and here's the difference between on and off. For some people, they may not see a big difference, but what anti-aliasing off does is it makes the edges a little sharper, which may sound like a bad thing, but it does make the game a lot crisper and a lot sharper than having the filmic anti-aliasing on. If you wanted to turn up the anti-aliasing a little bit, I would suggest using the first or 2 levels, but to me, I can't have it on anymore after playing with it off. Now, for the console players who can change this setting as well, please have motion blur turned off for both the world and the weapon. You do not want it on, and let me show you why. Now that you saw that, you see the big difference. If you want to have better movement in Call of Duty, you definitely need that option off. I know it looks cool with the motion blur and stuff, but it does deter your playstyle and the chances of getting a jump on somebody who saw you first. Because what motion blur does is it makes it harder for target acquisition when you're moving. You won't really see someone as clearly as if it was off because the blur is so strong. Now that we're in the audio settings, I like to run my audio mix on boost high, although you can run on boost slow. What boost slow helps over high is footsteps become louder, but everything else becomes a little quieter. It makes the low noises higher and the high noises kind of stay the same, but you'll definitely notice the lows more. I like to run on high because I can hear the gunshots easier. I put my master volume at 45. I do not have music playing in the background of this game, just because when I'm clutching it up and it's 1v5 on SND, the game loves to play music in your face, and then you just start hearing music and footsteps and it gets you all confused. Now, moving on to the controller settings, because I used to play controller before I played keyboard and mouse recently. I run on tactical flipped with a dead zone of 0.20. I have the horizontal and vertical stick sensitivity at 12 with the ADS sensitivity multiplier of 0.75. Running on standard aim response curve type, and controller vibration is disabled. Now, the weirdest one of all these is the disabled controller vibration. I know that might be weird for the people who like to play with vibration, but trust me, you do not want that thing on because it actually does deter your shot when you have it on. I like to run precision aim assist. I don't know why I was on standard. I like to have my equipment behavior on hold, my use reload behavior on contextual tap if you like to play Warzone, with depleted ammo weapon switch unenabled, so when you run out of ammo it automatically goes to your secondary. Put my slide behavior on tap so I don't have to hold to tap. It does help slide canceling a lot better. Auto move forward I have disabled, automatic sprint I have disabled, and a parachute deploy I have on enabled. Now, some of those are subject to how you want to play, but that's how I like to play. Now, here's a bonus one. Go ahead and put your colorblind type to Trinopia and look at your game's vibrancy now. The game looks a lot better. Now, there are cons to playing like this. Like if you're in Warzone, some of the rarities are mixed up and you won't be able to tell one from the other. Usually when I use this filter, I am able to see people a lot easier. Now, here's the difference between Trinopia and the default game. So there are the settings that I like to run. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did find something new that you didn't know before, do let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to see some of your comments. But that is all for today's video. Thank you.